Welcome to Fusion Fiction. Join us as we explore the limitless boundaries of imagination, bringing you captivating stories that unfold with every episode. Let your ears be the canvas where characters come to life, plots twist and turn, and emotions resonate long after the final word. Immerse yourself in the magic of storytelling with Fusion Fiction on Spotify with your host, Madhulika Ra Chauhan, where genres blend seamlessly and every episode promises a new discovery. Let's talk about our next episode of Fusion Fiction, the sixth in the series, The One Night Affair. The title sounds interesting, doesn't it? I hope you find the story equally interesting. Let's start with a what if. What if a rainy night and a broken phone leads you to a chance meeting with a stranger? A meeting neither of you would ever forget. So let's follow Yashika and see how fate plays its hand in the midst of chaos. To find out what happens to Yashika, tune into Spotify and YouTube on the 5th of September. Do sign in to listen. And also, do let me know, did you ever had a chance meeting with a stranger ever? A meeting which was memorable in more ways than one. Do write to me. The One Night Affair. A cell phone. Oh, how desperately I needed one. It was the middle of the night and I had to make just that one phone call. Fraught with helplessness, I looked out of my window. It was dark and raining. The raindrops lashed against the window pane, washing away the sticky dust that had settled on the outside. The trees outside on my fourth floor apartment swung wildly. I needed to make that call. If only I had a cell phone. Time was running out and I had to act quickly. My landline phone had been out of order since the lightning struck that evening. I thought of going to my neighbor's house to see if I could call the hospital to let them know of my plan. None of the lights were on. Damn! It was an uncourteous hour to wake up the neighbors. I felt squeezing my knuckles. It somehow helped me ease my anxiety. I looked out of the window pane again, squinting my eyes through the rain-lashed window pane. I was in luck. I saw a glint of light coming out of a window from the building opposite to my apartment. It must have been the 6th or the 7th floor from where I could see. Great. Probably I did not need to wake up anyone. I saw a faint shadow of someone moving near the window. Instinctively, I picked up an umbrella and rushed out of my home. I was drenched despite the umbrella. It was useless against the heavy rain. I crossed the street to reach the apartment building on the opposite side. I decided to take the stairs, not trusting the elevator. This would give me the much needed time to calm down. I caught my breath after the 4th flight and moved myself up to the 5th floor. Only one more left to climb, I told myself. Whew! Elevators had already pushed our generation into inaction. The light from the room made its way out from beneath the door. Thank God. I fumbled with my fingers in the dark on the wall, searching for the bell. There was none. Odd. My hand found something small and handy on the door. It felt like a metal knocker attached to the door. It was time to announce my presence. Finally, I picked up the metal knocker and made the slightest noise a metal could have made on the wooden door. Tuck, tuck, tuck. I waited. No response. I pulled up the knocker again and banged it a little louder this time. That certainly had an impact on the eardrums of the residents of the house. I could hear some shuffling noises coming from inside. Someone was hastily putting up slippers, and I could see a shadow approaching the door to check the source of the noise at this forsaken hour. I stepped back, a little pacified. The door opened with a slight creak. In the doorway stood a man in his 30s, shirtless, wearing only a pair of loose, white half pants. The soft baritone of Jagjit Singh's voice hit my ears. Nice choice. My nose caught a whiff of fresh Rajnigandha. I was unknowingly peeping into the house, already forgotten what I came here for. A cell phone, yes! Yes, said the man, and I got back to my present state. Do I know you? He added before I could answer. Hi, I live across the street in the building just opposite to yours. The man smiled, and I realized that I had not given him any reason to smile. Not yet, anyways. I expected curtness, but not a smile at this hour. Come in. I entered the room, a little hesitant, my heartbeat racing with a combination of fear and exhaustion from climbing the stairs. I did not know him, and I had not explained what I wanted. Yet he had offered me to come in. Do you own a cell phone? I blurted, as soon as I stepped inside the house, behind the man. He closed the door and motioned me to sit on the sofa. It was a big room, painted in vanilla shade. The room was tastefully done, with deep brown curtains adding to the charm. Well-framed imitations of M.F. Hussain paintings adorned the walls. I suspected a woman's hand. No man is this tasteful, at least not a single man, unless, of course, he's gay. I scrutinized him, trying to confirm my suspicion. He looked straight to me. The room was filled with empty wine glasses and pizza boxes stacked neatly on one side. It looked like he had a party that day. A big bouquet of Rajnigandha kept on the side of the brown couch, the source of the sweet smell my nose had caught earlier. I took a deep breath, savoring the sweetness inside me. I loved the freshness. He came back in the room, buttoning his shirt. Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. Can I borrow it? I need to make a call. And you see, it's a little urgent. I'm a doctor and I need to reach the hospital. I voiced out in top speed, not even pausing to catch my breath. I wanted to make it sound as genuine as it was, hoping he did not change his mind and ask me to leave. I really needed to make that call. The man turned around, looked at me a little dreamily. His big brown eyes looked deep. He pouted a little so as to show a little disappointment. I've not charged my phone since morning. It's out of power. I guess you'll have to wait till it gets charged enough for you to make a call. He smiled, which to me looked more like a smirk. I nodded in consent. Okay, very convenient. Why would someone own a cell phone and not charge it? Unless he's lying? My initial excitement of finding a cell phone had been dampened, just like me. I would have to wait now till the goddamn thing got charged. This was not what I had in mind. I was uneasy to say the least. The situation was not palatable to me at all. I was in a stranger's house, and even his name was not known to me. For all I cared, he could have been a psychopath, a serial killer, or worse, a rapist, and I, his new victim, just too eager to walk in his arms. Anyhow, here I was, wet and cold, with my cotton suit clinging to my body. I tried to cover myself with my wet pink stole. I studied myself in the round mirror hung upon the wall. My mascara had been washed down by rain and smudged under my eyes, making my eyes appear even bigger than they were. Gosh, I looked downright funny. Maybe that's why he smiled when he looked at me. So much for the first impression. Coffee? He asked. I definitely needed something to warm me up and muster my strength, just in case I needed to hit him in the near future. Yes, that would be fine. He put a pot of coffee on the stove. The warm smell of coffee beans filled the room. Black or with cream? He called out from inside the room. With cream. We came back with a tray of steaming hot cups of coffee with different shades. He preferred black by the looks of it. I'm Arun, he said, handing over a cup of coffee to me. It was then I realized that I had not even made an attempt to formally introduce myself and shamefully walked in. Iyashika. Oh, nice name. Never heard of that one before. Right, nice way of saying my name sounds as old as the ruins of Hampi. Thanks, I smiled as his staid attempt at small talk. So your wife is sleeping? No, he smiled. I don't have one. I'm single, ready to mingle. What? Nothing. I thought I heard you say something. No, I said nothing. God, this guy is a mind reader or what? I looked down, concentrating on my coffee, trying not to get distracted anymore. Nice coffee. Thanks. So, what do you do? I'm a musician. In fact, today we opened our own studio and we were celebrating, as you can see, he explained, pointing towards the empty pizza boxes. Wow. So, what kind of music do you write? It's mostly fusion. We are a group of 4 friends. I'm the guitarist, and we have a flutist, a tabla guy, and a sitarist. I'm a trained Carnatic vocalist by, and I've been trained by none other than the guru of music, M.S. Shubhalakshmi. He touched his ear in reverence as he took her name. He was definitely proud to be what he was. His eyes shone up with pride. Hey, I forgot to ask, would you like a towel to dry up? You seem pretty wet and hot. Say it, you pervert. I'm fine. I'll go back after making the call. That won't take long. Just then there was a loud thunder, like the gods did not like what I said. The rain lashed on the window even louder than before. The wind threw open the window pane behind the heavy curtain, and rain made its way inside the room, sweeping the small bits of tissue paper away on the floor. Arun got up to close it. This one's loose. I looked up at him. Looking at my expression, he added, the latch. He folded it between the window and the frame to make sure it remained shut, while I got up to pick up the bits of tissue from the floor. We heard a loud crackling sound, like sparkling live electric wires. Oh no, the transformer, we said in unison. Only I said, oh no. The light went off. Great, just what I needed. Perfect setting for a sensual Hindi song. No light, a heroine in wetsuit, inches away from the new hero. Only it didn't. I look more like a Lara Ramsey than a Yash Chopra. Wait, stand where you are. I'll get the candles. Okay. Ouch! What happened? You stepped on my feet. Sorry. His hands held my shoulders when fell on his chest. He felt warm and nice. I could smell brute. Good that it was dark and he couldn't see my face. I could feel my cheeks getting warmer. I felt his breath near me. Warm cinnamon mixed with a faint reminder of wine. Intoxicating combination. I felt the cushion of his broad lips as they brushed past my forehead. I instinctively pushed him back. I was afraid he could hear my thumping heart in the dark. It was fluttering in my throat. He was too close for comfort. Are you okay? Yes. Wait here, I'll get the candles, he said softly. Yeah, I said, sounding a little annoyed. Where do you expect I will go? Here in the dark. He fumbled his way to find the candles. At least the guy knew how to find a candle in the dark, while I put myself together out of the recent encounter. This isn't right. I should head back. The soft glow of candle became brighter as he entered the room from the kitchen. The yellow light kissing his face made him look serene and handsome. He looked up and smiled. I smiled back, looking in those gorgeous deep brown eyes, mesmerized by the glow on his face. He cupped his hands around the flame, saving it from being blown away. The frail flame of the candle danced like a slender woman too happy to be in his hands. He rested the stand on the center table. You can sit, he smirked, looking back at me. I realized I was still standing at the exact same spot where he had left me. I guess I'll go. Go where? It's too dark outside, and how will you go down in the dark? You can wait for the rain to settle down a little and then you can leave. The rain was not going to ease out by the looks of it. There was no guarantee that the electricity would be fixed soon. The whole point of coming to his house was lost. Now I could not even make that urgent phone call. I sighed and find my way down. As you wish. He got up and opened the door for me. The strong wind blew out the candle he had so delicately kept on the table. It was pitch dark again. My eyes more blinded than before. It was probably wise to stay. I kept quiet, swallowing my pride. Happy now? He said calmly. He closed the door once again. I was beginning to feel tired. The chill from the wet clothes penetrated my body, giving me goosebumps. The night was wasted, so wasted. He lighted the candle using the matchstick he had. My disappointment was probably more visible on my face now, as the soft glow from the candle filled the room. You can go as soon as you can see some light. I wouldn't take long for some light to come in. We were only a couple hours away from hitting daylight. I nodded silently. Let me get you some dry clothes, unless you plan to get sick by tomorrow. The protesting vein in me had died by now. I was in the agree mode. He came back from inside carrying a fresh towel, a fresh pair of shorts, and a t-shirt. How was I supposed to fit in these clothes? I could not imagine. He was tall and broad, and I was 5'3" and slender. My confusion was probably written on my face. These are my sisters. She visited me last month. She's almost your size. Good he cleared the sister part. Unnecessary detail he could have done without. I did not care whom he belonged to, or did I? Where? You can go inside and take this candle with you. At least I did not have to care about the hidden cameras anymore. The room inside was rather large, furnished with a double bed, and in the corner was a guitar. He wasn't lying about being a guitarist. There were a stack of books kept on the pet table next to the bed. I came out carrying the candle, holding my wet clothes in one hand. I felt much better being dry again. The clothes were perfect fit. Just the Tom and Jerry t-shirt was not my style. But style was the last thing which mattered right now. Sorry to have bothered you tonight. It all seems so unnecessary now. By the way, if you don't mind asking me, whom do you have to call? My shift starts at midnight. I'm an intern, so I wanted to call a colleague to pick me up on his way, as my car had broken down earlier this evening. How far is the hospital? Not far, it's the Safdarjung hospital. Or you could have just asked me to drop you instead of asking for the phone. Then you would have been in the hospital by now. But I protested. You did not know me, right? Not enough. He completed the sentence for me. Chalo, at least we got to know each other this way. He smiled. Not sure how I was supposed to respond to that. Did we really know each other? We had another 2 hours, more or less. He offered me more coffee, which I accepted. I had gotten used to his hospitality by now. I sat on the sofa, holding the cup, thinking of a way to pass the 2 hours I had to spend. So you play the guitar? You want to listen? Sure, why not? After all, we have nothing else to do. I smiled. He got his guitar from the room. The same happy smile spread across his face I had seen before, like a little boy getting his favorite toy. So what would you like to listen? He asked, adjusting the strings on the guitar, checking on the acoustics. Anything. Let me play guitar. It's a modern take on an old devotional song. Fusion, he explained. It went something like this. Nag momo ganaleni najali dalze. I did not make out the words he spoke, but his voice and music were magic. Pure gold. There was a sense of deep love woven in his mellifluous, rich baritone. His eyes closed like he was looking in a place deep inside to bring it out. He transformed from a boy sitting on a sofa to a performer who knew his art well. He sat there, mesmerized by his performance and his voice. He stopped, opening his eyes, searching for my reaction. I wish he hadn't stopped so abruptly. How was it? Brilliant, I said, clapping my hands. Was it a love song? Kind of, if you put it that way. It's a devotional song for Lord Krishna. It had not sounded devotional in any way. Sensual, yes, but not devotional by any chance. Have you heard of Sushila Raman? Sushila Raman? No, I said, straining my memory. She sung this recently in her album Salt Rain, and we four have been inspired ever since. He laughed, adding the quotation marks in midair as he spoke, inspired. We are an inspired nation, aren't we? I smiled back. He explained the lyrics to me as I listed voice. It was magical. I just wanted him to keep speaking. I had fallen in love with his voice. The 2 hours went by a little too quickly. The sky was a shade of grey pink. It was still raining, but at least I could see now. I should go, I announced. Sure. I wanted to stay back and also wanted the night to stay still dark enough, the rain to still lash a little hard. But it was a new day and I had to go. I picked up my clothes, I'll return you these later, I said, looking at the clothes he had offered me. You can keep them. My sister wouldn't be coming here for a long time. I did not say anything. He opened the door for me. I walked out, the scene from a few hours before reeling in front of my eyes. Nice meeting you, I said, extending my hand. Same here. He held my hand, shaking it a little longer. The rain was still pouring and I turned to take the stairs. So we will meet again? He asked out, and I was about to leave. I paused, not looking back. I did not know the answer to that. A no would have sufficed, but I did not want to say anything. Holding my umbrella, I crossed the road to reach my apartment. I was exhausted for being awake most of the night. I looked at my room. My bags were packed neatly across the corner of the room. I was packed to leave in the morning. I could use a few hours of sleep before starting my journey. I woke up to the sound of an incessant knock at my door. I woke up and looked at the clock. Oh God, it must be Kabir. I opened the door. Kabir looked at me in surprise. You're still not up? You have packed, right? You missed your shift last night. Is everything fine? Give me 2 minutes. I'll see you downstairs and explain everything soon. Make it quick. I rushed to get myself ready in a record time. Locked the door of my room and headed down to Kabir's car with the bags. I looked up towards the balcony of Arun's flat. He was standing there, sipping his morning coffee. He waved and smiled at me. I did not smile. I looked away. Like I did. What's taking you so long? Kabir asked. Nothing. I kept my bags at the back of the car and sat on the front seat. Did you know him? Know whom? The guy in the window. No. It seemed to me he was waving at you. Really? It cannot be, I said, trying to fake surprise in my voice. I could not tell Kabir about the night. He would not be able to understand. I loved Kabir, but the affair of that night was for my memory only. It was the moment I had with someone I never wanted to share again. Not even with myself. An affair with an expiry date. One night. Arun was my fantasy which came alive that night, never to come back again. I need to buy a cell phone, I declared. It's about time you listened to me. He smiled. I took Kabir's hand and held it. The familiarity of his touch on my palms and fingers, it was mine. I smiled, looking back at the road. I couldn't help but feel that maybe, just maybe, some nights were meant to be left as fleeting, enigmatic affairs.